Hello, everybody. Thanks for showing up today. Welcome to week 7 of Train My Traffic Person. Of course, this training is about ad creatives. So last week we talked about ad copy. Now the last step before we finally launch these campaigns next week is ad creatives. Thank you guys again for being flexible this week. I've been struggling with my vocal cords and losing my voice, but I've stayed quiet the last few days, which is um, unheard of for me. So thank you for being flexible. Really excited about today's session. I know I say this all the time, but this is one of my favorite parts of being a media buyer. So let me just hop in. Looks like we've got a great attendance today. Meryl, hey, thank you for the well wishes. All right, guys, we're going to hop right into this. Mr. King. Hello, Michael King. Good to see you. It's a lot of O's and malls. I love it. All righty. So, if you've seen me talk about creatives before, this is going to be a similar presentation because there's not a lot more that I can necessarily teach, but I have a ton of new examples. And I think that's really the best way. When it comes to creative, I always have trouble making my slides because usually I'm more text heavy and I want to explain certain concepts that I've come up with. But with ad creatives, we're basically judging little pieces of art, right? So I remembered back to art history class, and I'm like, wow, we used to sit there and go through hundreds of slides, and our professor would analyze each. That's kind of what we're going to do today, but I'm definitely going to talk about the process that I use for getting ad creatives made and really the process for coming up with the concepts behind ad creatives. You'll see how important that is. So first, if you've never heard me recommend this book, then definitely go grab it. This book is called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. And this book really helped me understand what creativity even was. Because you think these things are called ad creatives, right? What is an ad creative? It's really just the visual aspect of your ad, right? So it's the visual representation of your ad copy. And this can be really, really difficult for some people that are more type A. If you think more in numbers, if ad copy is a little bit tough for you, coming up with concepts for ad creatives might be really, really difficult, and that's okay. A lot of this is actually a mindset thing and your ability to sort of open your brain to be creative, because being creative is really, the ability to come up with out of the box ideas. So this book, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, it sort of explains how creativity works. And if this is something that you struggle with, or if you just want to become more creative, definitely read this book. It helped me a ton. So, like I said, what is an ad creative, right? It's the visual aspect of your ad. Whether we're on Facebook, Google, YouTube, it's whatever someone is consuming that isn't ad copy, right? You can have ad copy on your creative, but it is the piece of art that someone is consuming to, try to understand your ad. And it's really the visual representation of your ad copy. It's why last week we covered ad copy first, because with ad creatives, we're really just wanting to play off. It's the visual showing of whatever you put into writing last week, right? It's just that visual representation. So on Facebook, you have a few options and a few newer options too when it comes to your ad creatives, right? Here on the left, you have your carousel, which all of you guys have seen. You can put, I think, up to 6 or 7 now, photos or videos that people can click and scroll through, right? These are great for telling a story. You guys have seen in the Panda Planner examples and some examples I'm going to show you today, Carousel is especially great for if you're either featuring multiple testimonials or you want to tell a story that sort of progresses as they click through the carousel. You have single image. This is the default. Single image still works great for me. Again, it just comes down to the creativity behind it, which we'll talk more about. You have single video. video, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can also do a slideshow, so you can upload up to 10 different images and create a slideshow. I do that sometimes if I have more of a story to tell than I can fit in a carousel. I'll use a slideshow. And then a collection is fairly new. So this is more for mobile, and this is more for e-commerce too. It will allow you to create a collection of some of the products that you have in your catalog, and it will show. So Ezra will come on in a few weeks and talk a little bit more about this. For this week, we're really focusing back on those cold traffic campaigns that we've been working on, right? So especially those 2 campaigns with the 2 different avatars that you wrote ad copy for last week. Those are the campaigns, of course, that we're going to focus on this week. Honestly, when it comes to the different formats, I really don't care what you use. I haven't seen a difference in terms of performance between these different formats. It really comes down to the marketing behind the creative. So you need to pick the format that best reflects the message that you're trying to get across. You also need to pick the format that you feel most comfortable with, right? So for example, if you're making these ads on your own, if you don't have a designer as a resource, it might be a little tough to make a video, but there are tools like Animoto, Animoto, that will allow non-design savvy people like us to create videos. There are also different tools like Canva, Canva, that will allow you to create an image and do a little design on your own. We'll talk later about this. I do recommend you investing in a designer, even if it's on Upwork, because the quality of your ad creative really, really matters in 2018. So we used to be able to get away with really crappy ad creatives because Facebook was so new. There was no relevance score. There weren't many advertisers, so you weren't really competing against many people. And because the internet was different, people were used to seeing gaudy, banners on every website that were red and flashing and had like, cleavage or just something absolutely ridiculous to try to catch your attention that had nothing to do with what they were actually selling. But because of the nature of the way the internet was working and really the way e-commerce was working, people, consumers, this was so new that they would kind of click and buy anything just to see how the internet worked, right? So we're in a very different day and age where design absolutely matters. If you want someone to trust your brand, you need to look like someone that they should trust. So I'm not saying you have to go out, excuse me, guys. I'm not saying that you have to go out and hire, a designer that's $200, an hour, but it is worth at least hiring a professional, even if it's on Fiverr, to make sure that these images look as good as your brand, deserves to look on Facebook. So when it comes to the formats, we'll talk more about this, but I'm really impartial. I've seen everything work. It just depends on what is the best format to deliver your message, and you're going to see a bunch of different ways to do this. So, the medium doesn't matter, it's the marketing message. Always remember that. So what not to do. This is my favorite ad to tell people of what not to do. So what most people do still, but their ads don't ever really work for them because the relevance score is so low. What a lot of people do is they go grab a stock photo that usually has nothing to do with whatever their ad is about. And because your creative is the last thing that you're going to give Facebook before you submit your campaign, it's usually the most overlooked. And Facebook even offers stock photos in there, which I get that it helps the barrier to entry of advertisers, but they provide free stock photos and it's just making ads look bad. But anyways, people use stock photos that have nothing to do with what they're actually what the ad's actually about. I mean, there are a lot of things wrong with this ad, but there's a cat on a computer. This is about network marketing. I guess the computer could have something to do with network marketing, but this ad creative, it's just not congruent. But this is what a lot of marketers do. They really overlook the ad creative. I guess that's sort of the theme of the course. People do that with copy. They do that with targeting. They do that with planning their campaigns. They do that with their offers. You guys are the ones that are going to go deeper. Or what they do is they just display the product, but not in a way that shows me any benefit, right? So this is a keto brand, and they've got, these are all features: premium, nutritious fats, low carb, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all in one shake. I guess that's cool. And there's a water bottle there. And, there's nothing wrong with this image. It's just that there's no real benefit shown to the end user, right? If I was just scrolling through my news feed, I would think that they were selling a water bottle. It looks like they're selling a shake. So see, I didn't even know. But this is This is a mistake that especially a lot of e-commerce companies make. They simply display the product, but they don't add any text. They don't add any extra context. They're not showing the product in action. They're not conveying that marketing hook that we know is so important and that we've talked about so much in the ad. They're simply displaying the product. So that's what I want you guys not to do. So this is what you should do. And I'm about to go through a ton of ads with you guys. Sorry, about to go through a ton of ads with you guys. Feel free to take notes. Some of these ads are going to speak to you. Some of them really aren't going to feel like they applied to your business, but really write down the ads that you like, because the ads that you like here in this presentation are probably ads that you can mimic for your ad creative, right? There's nothing wrong, and you'll see here later, with sending your designer or getting your ideas for your ad creative from other marketers, right? That's where I get all of my ideas from. So note which ones you like so that you can use them as inspiration later. And I'm just gonna hop in the questions box and check on you guys really quick. Patricia says you sound great. Thank you. Hopefully my voice makes it through. I just have to keep drinking water. Is everybody cool here? You having fun? You excited to roll into these examples? Hey, Therese. Woot woot. All right, awesome. My Friday crew. All righty, everybody. Let's do this. So just a few things that your creatives should do, right? We've talked about this, but I can't say it enough. They should convey the marketing message. They can't just be random. They need to actually tell the consumer something, right? They need to convey a message, even though it's visually. So much more important than color and design. They do need to be visually appealing enough to want to stop in the newsfeed, right? So doing the ugly creatives to get people to stop, that doesn't really work anymore. So you do want there to be some visual appeal, but the most important part is that you're conveying the marketing message. You do want to be on brand. And what I mean by this is, even if you've never run an ad before, your brand or your company, whoever you're running ads for, you have a chance to establish a brand. And what I mean by that is, for example, at Digital Marketer, we ran mostly really colorful cartoon looking ads, sort of similar to the ads that Ezra used to run. And the reason we did that is because even if we were wanting to show an ad for something completely different and we wanted them to know that it was a completely different product or offer, we wanted it to be similar enough to other ads that we've run that they have that brand trust there. So it's not something to obsess about now, but it's something to keep in mind. Do I usually do head-on videos, right, from the personality in my brand? Do I normally do cartoon-looking images? Do I normally do only text ads with, cool visuals in the background? Really, as we go through these ads, start to think about which ones are your brand. And then always, when you can, play off of associations with an existing visual in our culture. So the purpose of the creative is to speak to the 50% of humans out there that are more visual versus readers, right? People that learn more visually than people that learn through reading. And so the creative is there to really get a message across to that person in less than 3 seconds, if you can. Very, very quick. I mean, think about how quickly you scroll through your Facebook newsfeed. So if there is a way that you can play off of existing visuals that we already have in our culture or that you already have in your market, so that instead of getting across a message by explaining something head on for 10 seconds, you could just show a visual and or a symbol and they would immediately understand in 1 to 2 seconds. That is going to help get your message across in a much quicker way, and you're going to stop a lot more people in their newsfeed. You might have heard me talk about this, but I think the most successful execution that I've seen of playing off of existing visuals in our culture, when I was a digital marketer, we wanted to run ads telling people that tickets to a conference were 50% off, and then a few weeks later that tickets were selling out. So the visual that I used first was this battery from an iPhone image. And this one's green, right? This is something that everyone, they're on a device to be on Facebook. So even if they're not using an iPhone, they know what this means, right? They have scarcity around their battery dying, or they are aware of their battery. Everyone knows what a battery means and that it can move up and down, right? So when it was 50% off tickets, I used this green battery. When we moved to Last Chance, I used this battery that was almost dead because this was the moment in time that I'm, wanted to appeal to that feeling of scarcity in the biggest way. Right. So this worked really, really well. This was a few years ago. I can't remember the metrics. It sold a ton of tickets. But this is just an example of any time you can play off of existing symbols, visuals, even memes that we use already in our culture. It will help portray your message in a much, much faster way. All right. So let's dive into some of these awesome creatives. So these are all creatives that I've found throughout the last few years that I just love. So this is for some sort of hair product. This was a really simple ad. It was a slideshow between these two images. And it first started here. It says cotton towel. I'm sorry, this is not a hair product. This is a certain hair towel that you use on your hair. So we've got the before state here, and Therese, I'm thinking about you right now with your nails. Like really bad nails over here, really good nails over here. But she's got, here are some hooks here, right? No product, no blow drying, no styling. No product, no blow drying, no styling. That's the benefit of this towel, is that they don't have to use product, they don't have to blow dry, they don't have to style. They just use this towel, and instead of your hair looking like this, your hair looks like this, right? Remember the before and after grid. Remember the lawn care company that we talked about. We could have had, really terrible dirt and dead grass, and we could have had a beautiful lawn here. And this is just a 3-second little slideshow video that's hopping between the before and after. Think about, guys, any of you could use this creative concept. You really could. Whatever your before and after is, even if you're just explaining it through words, even if it's not as easy to show visually like this hair company, you could at least show it through words. And because you're using a video, you don't have to abide by the 20% text rule. Only the thumbnail, the first slide of your video does. So that's the beauty of a video. If you want to use more text than you could on a single image, because you could easily on a single image put this girl side by side and put cotton towel or aqueous towel, and that would have been under 20%. But we probably wouldn't have had room for this extra context here, which is really important. So just think about that when you're creating videos. Some of the benefit can be that you can highlight, this transition from before to after. Really, really, really love this ad. All right, next, some more examples. We've got Best Self Company here on the left and Panda Planner here on the right. So I wanted to show you guys these because here on the left, this was also a part of a slideshow. I just got a quick snap of it. But what they're doing is they're showing their product in use, right? Which is great, especially if it's in specifically towards your market. So for example, with Panda Planner, the ads that I showed you for moms, I showed a planner that was specifically filled out for moms, right? So that appealed to that audience. If you're selling a product, especially an e-com product that you can visually show in this way, and you can show it in action specific to your avatar, that can make a really, really good ad. On the flip side, you can also try something like we did here for Panda Planner. This is just a really quick little video ad. I screenshotted a little too early, but basically we have the planner here. Instead of filling it out in this ad, we've put all of our hooks around here. So increase productivity, daily routines to develop habits, you get a guarantee, scientifically designed to make your life happier, is what pops up here. But this is just another way of doing this. This is more of showing the product in action, which is really powerful because then you don't even have to think about it, right? Like what I would have done differently here, this is kind of a general ad. I would have said, okay, maybe they're going after the fitness market. I would have made this entire planner, push-ups, sit-ups, weight gain, weight loss, really customized it to that audience. This is a little bit better when you're wanting to be more general, right? This is the creative that I use for more general avatars. But for example, for the mom avatar, we'll still show these features, but we'll just make sure it's filled out specifically for moms. So this is good. Again, if you're an e-com company, how can we display your product while still portraying that marketing message and showing the end result? Okay, so this was an interesting ad. This is just a short little video of bacon around an egg and someone eating it. And this is about keto. What I liked about this is don't forget that you can always add a header to the top of your videos where you add a bit of text. I'm a huge fan of adding text to your creative, whether it's a video or an image. And the reason is some people just don't read this. Some people will read this because they're used to reading memes and they're used to seeing this form of video. Now, what I would have done different, the hook of this whole offer is that you're getting keto products delivered to your front door. They went all the way to showing the food made. I literally would have shown a video of someone putting MCT oil, avocado, butter, a bunch of different really good fats on your doorstep. It sounds really silly, but it's a very logical way to portray that marketing message. If I saw MCT oil, avocado, butter, someone putting that on a doorstep, I would immediately know that they're talking about the keto diet, and I would immediately know that they're talking about delivering those products to your doorstep. You don't even have to say anything further to me, right? I understand how convenient that is. Now that I understand what it is in less than 5 seconds, my brain can already tell me the benefits of that, right? Because that would have been a great way to convey this marketing message. So I wanted to show this because I like this up here. I like the copy they used, but I think that they missed out here on this video. They went a step too far to where I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, is a chef coming to my house, right? I'm just kind of confused. Alrighty, guys, moving forward. Alrighty, so these are two examples that I really like. So the hook, this is Depulse. It's a project management tool. And basically their hook is like, quit letting your tasks pile up, right? It's all about getting stuff done. So what they're using is don't let your tasks pile up. And the visual representation that they're using of pile up, I would have used a stack of laundry like on a chair. That's my visual representation of pile up. But for them, it was Tetris, which I thought was really smart. And look how they made this blurry. That automatically makes you want to stop because your eyes are telling you that there's motion there and that there's something that you need to look at. So there are a few things. Their ad copy is pretty poor. They don't really have an offer, I guess, a free trial, but they did nail this creative. Everyone's familiar with Tetris. It really plays off of their hook here, and they added this nice visual. Good job to Pulse. This one I thought was, I actually got this on my phone and it freaked me out, but I thought this was a really, really clever thing to do. So this was an Instagram story, and it's Australian lakes are calling, and it says accept or decline. When you see that, you literally think that someone's like calling your phone, but of course, they're just playing off of something in culture, a visual that people are familiar with, right? Australian lakes are calling, accept or decline. Obviously, it doesn't do anything, but you can scroll up to learn more about their services. Really, really smart. Alrighty, here's some examples from a brand called Skinny Fit that I've showed you guys before. First off, you can see their ad copy variations, which there are some improvements that I would make. Like, I think that's pretty lame. Whoa, have you seen that detox? But this is a great example of different copy variations, right? The detox that 200,000 women are obsessed with is now 50% off. So we've got social proof here. We've got a discount. And then we're telling them we're going to boost their metabolism, increase fat burn, slim your waistline. I like that. This one is more of testimonials, which you'll see in a minute. I did a testimonials ad for Be Friendly with a bit of a different hook here at the top. But I just wanted to show you, this is another example of this type of ad with a bit of copy up here. And this is literally just a video of their tea. It's just their tea, like the water's moving around, the tea is just hanging out. It's just a few seconds, but the movement and looking and thinking, what is this tea? What is this detox? That works really well for them. You can see this is another example, especially if you're going to warmer traffic, you can display your product. I just want you to overlay things like 50% off, right? These emojis were a nice touch. It made you think like, wow, I should take action now. This is shocking. Same thing over here. This is obviously for sleep, and they put the star and the moon here. So look at this one brand and the different creative concepts that they've come up with, right? Maybe you do one that's a video like this, and one more that's a product shot, but that's still showing the benefit. I look at this, and even though it's a product, I immediately understand that it's going to help me sleep. This one, a little bit less. That's why I would use this to warm traffic. It does say skinny, so I assume weight loss, but these two are pretty solid ads. I was pretty impressed with those. All right, so back to our keto guys. So I already talked about this ad on the left and how I was disappointed because it just really doesn't even show me what it is, right? I wanted to then show you this ad because I think this is an improvement. I still don't think it's I don't think it's perfect, but this is an improvement. So they're selling a snack pack. I think it says stack pack. I do that all the time. Save $50. So, this could be a good cold traffic offer. I don't know. It's a pretty big offer. But what I liked is how they laid out, I guess it is Keto Stack, how they really laid out what they were going to get. So they're getting 4 pizza pans, pizza crusts. They could have just showed one pizza crust, but they laid this out. This really helps with people that think about value. We all do as consumers. And if you can visually see, especially with a physical product, wow, I'm getting 4 of these. They all look the same, but there's still a huge value here. I really like how they did this. I also like, it looks like they're giving away a free guide, and it looks like this guy might be an influencer. I liked how they put a personal picture here. That can work well for authority figures and brands, and it can even work if people don't even know who this human is, but it looks like a personal picture, because that's what people are used to engaging with on Facebook. So I like how they really displayed the offer here. I think this is more of a warm traffic ad. But I just wanted to show you the difference between these two. This is what I mean, just going a step deeper, right? For cold traffic, they would probably need to sell someone on keto. So cold traffic ad for this, what I would have done is, lose weight and still eat pizza, like a video like this, right? And then show a quick video of cauliflower, going through the food processor and baking into a pizza crust, right? Really, really simple. But that's what I would have done for cold traffic for this ad here. Alrighty, on to the next one. So we've got one on here that I don't like and one on here that I really like. Which one do you guys think is the best creative? Is it the one on the right, or is it the one on the left? This is probably an easy question, but I like doing these side by sides. I'm going to open the questions here for you guys. Alrighty. Let's see here. Left, right. Catches your attention. Okay, good guesses, guys. And really quick, I'm going to answer some questions and leave you guys, leave an open loop here. Someone says, we struggle a lot with Facebook's 20% rule. Any thoughts? Yeah, just use the text overlayer checker, I think is what it's called. Just Google Facebook text checker 20%. Every time I use that, I don't have a problem. Sometimes Facebook, because of the way that the algorithm works, will flag you as over 20%, but you can request manual review. So there you go. Molly, what are you not allowed to do with before and after, as Facebook says before and after against policy? No. So Facebook does not say before and after against policy. Facebook says that before and after are against policy. When you are trying to basically, let me pull it up for you guys really quick. So Facebook's totally fine with before. They just don't want you to, and here's exactly what they say. Hold on just a second. Okay, so adverts must not contain before and after images that contain unexpected or unlikely results. Advert content must not imply or attempt to generate a negative self-perception in order to promote dietary, weight loss, or other health-related products. Ads for health, fitness, or weight loss products must be targeted at people over 18. So Facebook's totally fine with before and after. They just don't want you to say, before there's this really overweight guy and after there's a six-pack, right? So they just don't want anything that feels like you are, you're generating a negative self-perception for that person. So definitely read through these guys. They update them a lot too. Let's see here. All right. So Sue said for the text heavy images for best self and Panda Planner, what images type have you used here to get away with the copy? Yeah, it's a slideshow. Mike King says this creative is all about selling the food, but it does a poor job connecting to their service offering. Yeah, he's talking about the keto delivery. Totally agree. And then Sin, hello, my friend. She says, are these detox ads running on Facebook? Are they on the edge with unrealistic claims? Yes, they are on the edge of unrealistic claims. They are running on Facebook. They run a ton of ads. I think a lot of it is you'll notice that when they do say something directly about weight loss here, it's always in quotations, right? It's always a testimonial. You'll see that when they speak about it directly, they say things like increase fat burn. They don't say burn fat, right? Or I'm sorry, they don't say lose weight. They say increase fat burn. So I know a huge agency runs these and they've been very careful. So if you are in the health and fitness market, these are good ads to study to see how you can. Yeah, they are towing that line though. I probably wouldn't go that far. But okay, guys, here, absolutely, I think the best ad is over here on the right. And even though this looks a little unprofessional, I actually think it's cute. And the reason is that this ad is about keto, and yeah, it's bacon and avocado. But again, this is a stock image. There's no context here. I'm not sure, necessarily what this has to do with keto other than, this is a food that you would eat on the keto diet. They've left a lot on the table here. Over here, I scrolled through and saw this, and I was actually on the keto diet. And immediately, with no hesitation, I knew exactly what they were selling. I saw the chocolate and I saw no sugar, and my brain said, thank God you can eat that. So I just really thought this was a good comparison. This one on the right, again, it portrays the marketing message. There's no benefit. I mean, I guess here they're selling the keto diet, but even if they're selling mental clarity, weight management, sleep levels, show me a slideshow or someone that's experiencing these, euphoric states that I want. Don't show me food. I'm not at the place yet. I'm not doing the keto diet because I want to eat avocado and bacon. I might, but I'm doing the keto diet because I want these benefits. Show that in the ad creative. So I thought this was a really good example, and it shows you that you can do them on your own and it can work. You just want to make sure that you don't go overboard and make it look unprofessional. Alrighty, guys, we'll keep rocking and rolling here. So this is a company you should watch that does great ads. It's called Four Sigmatic. And first off, I want to show you, this isn't the same ad, but this is a great example of using emojis and giving benefits in ad copy. And they're still making a call to action at the end here. So educating people. Meryl, this reminded me a lot of what you're doing with skincare. And you guys will see me use something similar to this later. But basically what this is and why I put this on here is as soon as I saw this ad creative, I knew exactly what this product was. Super simple. They were actually in, I met with them a few years ago. They were in a mastermind called War Room, and they were running really complex ad creatives. And the problem was that no one knew what they were selling. I told them, guys, all you need to do is have an image, put a mushroom plus a coffee cup, and I swear it will work. And it's worked so well for them. And the reason is because it's exactly what it is. This is mushroom coffee, right? This is a novelty product that's, as soon as you see this, you're so curious, you really want to know what it is, right? If this was common in our society, I would probably have them make an ad creative of all of the benefits, right? Because we would need to go a step further. But they're a novelty product. This is all they needed to do to explain to people they were selling mushroom coffee and that they should buy it. But they could also, this image here, could have a really nice slideshow that flips through these different benefits, but definitely check out their ads. I'm noticing my phone is usually dead on these screenshots. All right, this is another ad image that I really liked, and this was a slideshow. This is a company called Care of Vitamins. And the hook for Care of is that you take a quiz and they send you vitamins every month that are specific to your body, right? And it also has your name on it. So really brilliant. They were able to show, their unique selling position, the hook that they're using in this ad so quickly through this slideshow. All it did was flip between Richard and Mike, and the pills would change, from where they were laying. And it immediately, you notice the difference was, oh, it's for Richard, then it's for Mike, it's for Richard, for Mike. Oh, maybe I can have one for Molly, right? So simple, but such a great visual display of their unique selling proposition here. I really, really like this ad. And again, they're a great company to watch with their ads. Really, really impressive. Here's an example of a wonderful before and after. I actually purchased SaneBox, which is a tool that helps clean out your inbox because of this ad. Really, really simple. The benefit is that the benefit is afterwards you're in inbox 0 before you have 13,678 emails. I love it because this is a visual that people are familiar with, right? So again, going back to visuals that people are familiar with in our culture, people know email, right? They know what this little envelope means. And people also immediately have a stress related to more emails in their inbox, right? I know how that feels. Literally by looking at this, I'm like, that looks like a mess. I want this after state. Look how simple this ad was to create. I mean, I could have done this in Canva easily, but this works so well because they're speaking directly to that before and after. Really, really impressive. Alrighty, so the next one, I'm going to check back in with you guys. Are you liking these examples? I hope you're getting ideas. Sin says, lovely being in your workshop. Thanks, dear. I have loved having you around. I think we've known each other for years now. Alrighty. Let's see here. All right, looks like everybody's. Meryl said, yeah, I'm now working on an ad like you talked about with the emoji list. There you go. Mike King said, I totally was going to say that. Plug in the phone. Yeah, I need to plug in my phone. Therese says, what's a good video length? It really depends. I've had videos that are 3 seconds work. I've had videos that are 3.5 minutes work. It really depends on the concept. The longer 3.5 minute one was a teaser that I was trying to use to get people to sign up for a video series. It was very informative. The shorter videos are usually displaying a product or trying to portray some sort of hook very quickly. So it really depends. Don't worry about the length too much. Just worry however long you need to get your point across. Meryl says, I'm like the only person I know who isn't bothered by the huge list of unread emails on my phone. I actually think it makes me look more popular. Yeah, sometimes I'm able to turn it off, but sometimes it really drives me nuts. Okay, guys, here is another ad type that I really like. So basically what Amazon's done right now, they're speaking to the after state of what they know this person wants. They want to relax. And they're literally showing this on the text, right? So they're showing the person in the after state, and the product is here, providing that after state. Most of you guys could create an ad like this. Need a second to chill out? Just ask Alexa, help me relax. So, this could be anything, right? Back to the delivery, right? The keto delivery. You could show, a person cooking happily in their kitchen, and, something about tired of going to the grocery, wish your keto products would just show up. We can give you that level of satisfaction and decrease stress, and really visualize that here in the ad. When I saw this, I just thought this was so good, and they did it in such a simple way. Alrighty. So here's another good one. This one was on Instagram. And by the way, guys, usually I have, and I'll talk about this in a bit, I'll have my designers create concepts for different creatives. And then what I have her do, I just send her all of the specs for ad image or ad video size for Facebook, Instagram, etc. And she is able to make sure she sizes everything and make sure that that experience is good on both platforms. So I usually don't have a creative concept for Instagram and have a creative concept for Facebook. Even with Insta stories, sometimes you can very much multi-purpose and just change the layout of the creative to match the medium. But it doesn't mean that you have to change what the creative actually is, if that makes sense. Like this here was an Instagram carousel ad, but I easily could have resized this and made this a Facebook video ad, right? So just so you guys know my thought process behind that, I know that's going to be a question later. So, all right, this is a carousel, and we've got a lady. We've got, this is more of a logic one, and this got me. 88% of financially successful people read at least 30 minutes a day. Well, if you want to be financially successful or more financially successful through that one piece of logic, that one stat, they just convinced us to read. So, okay, now over 50% of Blinkist users manage to read 3 books per day. So you want to be more financially successful, then you need to read at least 30 minutes. Over half of the people that use this tool that's going to solve this problem read 3 books per day. That's more than I read in a month, right? Key insights from 2,000 plus books you can read or listen in 15 minutes. Blinkist. I thought this was tremendously done. I really, really loved it. I'm going to take a quick drink of water, guys. Alrighty, I'm back. But if any of you guys are trying to tell a story, especially through logic or something like this, you can see that the creative isn't even that strong, really. Like, they're using stock photos, but because, I'm sorry, this isn't a carousel, guys, this is a video. Because this is a video, they start the first slide real quick, just 1 second of this lady, and before you can scroll past, you're already on to this really text heavy piece of logic. So guys, worst case scenario on your creatives, take your ad copy and make a slideshow that's short, sweet, 10 to 20 seconds long, maybe even 5 to 20 seconds long, just a few slides that leads someone to need your product or service, right? I really, really, really love this one. You guys can tell I kind of like this. Oh, I just got pumped about an Instagram video. Okay, so this one is okay. This is for Hubble Contacts, and they deliver contacts to your door every month. I just had LASIK surgery last year, and before I thought about getting Hubble Contacts because a huge pain point was actually getting these contacts. Like, I had to go get, I had to go to the doctor and go through all of this crap. And so this was an image. What I don't like about it is, what I do like about it is we have the offer right here. First box free, $3 shipping and handling. They did a really good job with that. What I don't like is they're displaying the product, but no one knows what the hell that is, Like, it kind of looks like contacts, but it doesn't. And then the lady's just sort of looking down. So what I would have done here is I would have made this a slideshow, and I would have first hit on the pain point of, tired of chasing down your contacts, right? Maybe someone running or someone going into the eye doctor. The next would be, we deliver monthly. You could even start with the slide of contacts delivered to your door every month, right? And someone actually placing, but I would place like old school contact. I'm losing the word for it, but the cases that we put our contacts in at night, actually placing one on the doorstep, because that's the closest visual representation that I think all contact wearers have, because we wear different brands. So anyways, I'm getting really deep into this one. You can see that the difference where they could have taken this a step further was by actually visually showing the benefits of someone delivering these contacts to the door, someone not having to go to the eye doctor, and hey, you get your first box free, right? So maybe the last slide is a box that says first box free, and it says your address on it. Click here to sign up. Really, really simple. So just different ways to think about these. Okay, I thought this was pretty cute. So we've got use a helping paw, and this is a complete visual representation of that. As a dog owner, I immediately stopped here because of this visual representation, but also because it tied directly into this hook that they're using. So it made me want to read, does your dog qualify as a support animal? So just a quick, to show you how easy this can be, if you have a really good hook, use a helping paw, and we've got the paw and the hands. Now, of course, there are other ways through a slideshow or other types of ads that they could have shown more benefits of having a support animal, right? Like the dog can fly, it can go into hotels, it can decrease your anxiety, it can, this and this and this. But for a simple image ad, especially from U.S. service animals, I was pretty impressed with this. I thought it was a great representation of the message. And then this one, okay, so this was a cool little video that was only text. So it started as a completely blank screen, which made me stop because I thought something was broken or that I lost cell service or something. And immediately, so it's a white screen, so there's no text, and then immediately melt away stress comes up, and then it just melts. So all of this text melts to the bottom. I really, really liked that. It is the hook for Soothe, which is, massages help melt away your stress. And I thought it was so brilliant to have that white image first. It made me stop. And then, it just had words here. Of course, there are other ads that they should be running, like someone bringing a massage table into your home, someone getting a massage in their bedroom. There are other benefits to this, but I thought this was a really cool concept in displaying one of the hooks that they're using. Really, really impressed with that one. And then this last one, and you'll see me use something similar to this for Be Friendly, but this is a video. This is more of a novelty product. It's a face mask. You can see, it's a testimonial. All I can say is, wow, I've tried all kinds of masks, and this has quickly surpassed the others. When you have something that's a bit shocking, like a face mask, like something that you don't normally see on people or in normal day-to-day lives, or our normal day-to-day lives, it can work to shoot more of a selfie video and just demo the product if you have a really good offer. So I just wanted to show this to you guys because, this person shot a selfie video, right, of them using this mask. But this has worked really, really well for them because it's something that you stop. You're like, what's on her face, right? And then you can see the benefits here, visual improvements, especially around the eyes. I would buy this 10 times over. So I thought this was okay. They could put some text. There are some other things they could do, but I just wanted to show this to y'all as an option. Okay, a few more, and these are a bit old school. So if you've been in some of my other trainings, you might have heard of these. So I'm going to go through these a little quicker. But these are really, 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 really good examples of portraying marketing hooks. So this is a company called BetterHelp, and it's an e-counseling company. So they're using not all wounds are visible, and there's a Band-Aid. It seems really silly, but you immediately know what they're talking about, right? Band-Aids, wounds, oh, yeah, I might be feeling a little emotionally unstable. Oh, wow, these people can help me. Right? So they literally took this hook, not all wounds are visible, right? And what's the visual representation of wound? There's a Band-Aid, very simple. Same thing over here, don't bottle up your emotions, and we have sad bottles. It seems really silly, but stuff like this works so well, especially if you're selling something like an info product or a SaaS like they are, and it's not something you can visually show. Like we can show LASIK surgery, we can show, nail art kits. We can show a lot of the things that you guys are selling, but if you can't, this is a great way to go about it. Same thing with these two ads. This was an ad we came up with, a digital marketer for a lead magnet called the 60-second blog plan. And so I started getting into the head of this person, of course, which was a blogger who we were trying to reach. Okay, what do bloggers visually look at every day? WordPress. Awesome. So I had my designer mock this up to look like WordPress. It would catch their attention. And then we added this clock here to speak more to the 60-second hook. This worked really, really well for us. You can see we got a good amount of engagement, and that was years ago. This is a company that builds mobile apps and websites. So to visually show that, they have these little ninja guys coming down to work on your phone. Now, of course, that's not actually what's happening, but it's brilliant marketing because I can visually understand what this company is going to do for me without even having to click over to their website. Really, really good. This is one from BioTrust. This was a metabolism quiz that they were running. So instead of just saying, how does your metabolism stack up? They have, the human gaining weight over time, and, the red, it's becoming more red as you move forward. This is probably not what we want. We want to be more down here, but we need to take this quiz to see where we stand so that we can get down here or stay down here. This was a really good example of portraying the marketing message. Here, this was a silly lead magnet we had at DM called a Modern Marketing Growth Plan. And the hook we were using was build a rockstar marketing team. So to make this fun, we just turned it into a rock band, even though it had nothing to do with marketing, and added different marketing icons up here. It's creative, people love it, they want to share it, they want to engage with it, which, remember, this is what all of this is about, guys. We can't forget, this is all about relevance score. We want this engagement from people. Of course we want sales, but we can't keep running the ads if we don't have a high relevance score. And then just a few more. My friends over at Samcart, this was so simple, but so true, right? And you could use this in any market. Moms, what we're told parenthood is like, what it's really like, right? This is more about funnels. I've seen this for entrepreneurship. But if you are helping a certain market get unstuck, you could use a meme like this or any other meme that's online to portray that before to after. And then this one, Albert, they're a financial app. I thought this was really cool. They drew a chart that says, I totally got it this time. Adherence to monthly budget, right? You stay on budget for the first few days, and then you don't, and then at the end of the month, you're adhering to budget again, right? This is a graph that entertains people. It's hilarious. You can see people are literally reacting with laughter. They're sharing it. But it's still speaking to the pain point. Hey, you don't adhere to your budget every month, right? Let us help. So those are the examples I wanted to run through. I hope that those were helpful for you guys. I want to now transition into a quick process that I use to actually get these creatives done. So I went through a ton of examples to try and spark your imagination, give you some ideas. I hope that helped. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat box. I'm actually on time for one of the first weeks in a long time. So that's exciting. So we're going to move in, like I said, to the 6-step process. And then I'm going to show you the ad copy I wrote for Be Friendly that I hadn't gotten to you guys yet. And then I'm going to then show you what I'm going to propose to my designer that she makes in terms of creatives. So the over-the-shoulder process here, you guys can watch, how I do this. So I'm going to check back in, take another drink of water here. My voice is holding on. It's a good day. All right. Cool, you guys good to rock and roll? You're being pretty quiet, which hopefully means you're taking notes. Let me know if you have any questions. Alrighty, looks like we're good to keep rocking and rolling. Okay, so here is the process that I use for having my ad creatives produced. This works whether you're making them on your own or you're having someone else make them. So first, shockingly, is do your research, right? So there are a lot of ways. If you're having trouble especially through all of the different types of ads that I just showed you, the different concepts, if you're still having trouble coming up with a concept, what you can do is you can take a keyword or a hook that you're using and actually use things like Google and Dreams Time to come up with a concept for that creative. So, for example, one time, I can't remember exactly what the ad copy was, but at Digital Marketer, I was trying to tell someone that they could stack things up, right? And I started to think about what is a stack? Like, how can I visually represent that? And what we ended up with was a stack of pancakes, and it worked really well because people automatically correlated that word. But usually, what I do to come up with ideas, so say you were using a word, it could be any word like candy. The best way to figure out what the most common visual representations are of that word is to use Google Images. And the reason for that is that Google is trying to show you images that are most clicked on across the entire web, right, in relation to a word or a phrase. So if you are trying to get ideas for something, this is a really good research process, because what you can do is go through here and start to take screenshots of things that you like or don't like. So I've got copy in a doc here, and I'm going to put notes. The process you guys will find in a minute. I basically create a document. I put the copy in the document that makes up the ad. This document is for my designer. And then depending on how many creatives I have, I am simply going through a research process and putting as many screenshots here of different ideas that I have. I'm writing very detailed instructions to her, but I'm trying to, whether it's through words or visuals, thoroughly explain exactly what I'm looking for out of this creative. Because one of the biggest mistakes is that marketers just send a designer like a landing page and they're like, hey, go make a Facebook ad for this. But the problem is the designer doesn't understand the marketing behind that. They need specific instructions. They still need creative freedom, right? You shouldn't tell them, put the blue here, put the red here, but they need instructions. And the better instructions that you give the designer, the better the work is going to be. So basically, I'm using things like Google and Google Images to get certain visual ideas for words or for different hooks or different points that I'm trying to portray to the audience, and I'm taking screenshots. You can do the same thing with Dreamstime for free. It's a ton of stock photos. It's a great way. Of course, you don't want to use these stock photos, but you take screenshots so that your designer can recreate this. So there is definitely a research process here, especially if you're having trouble with ideas. Like if you can't just do a before and after, if you can't just display the product, this is a great way to do research. So the next step after that is for you to actually sketch out the ideas. So whether this means you're just in a Google Doc typing and putting in, images of things you like, or whether you actually sketch it out on a piece of paper, it's up to you. Sometimes if I know exactly what I want as a marketer, my designer is Brittany. We work together at Digital Marketer, and now she's a part of my team, which I'm really grateful for. And as we've worked together now for 4 or 5 years, there's not much I have to explain to her, which I'm very grateful for, because she now understands the marketing. But if there's a moment where I know exactly what I want in an ad, I will sketch it out. But normally what I'm sending to her is, Britt, I really like this, but I want it to say this for this market, and I want it to be this color. Can you make that happen, right? I'm usually coming to her more with other concepts. But if you want to get really creative and you want to sketch things out on your own, totally do it. And after you sketch this out, then you're either going to create the these creatives yourself if you're on a budget, or you can outsource, whether you have a designer on your team or whether you want to use something like Upwork. I found some great designers. I would specifically type Facebook ads into there, so designers that are used to doing ads for Facebook. There's also a service called Design Pickle that I love. It's unlimited graphic design, and they have a really quick turnaround, and you get one designer dedicated to you. So it's kind of like an internal designer without the expensive cost. So do the research, figure out what I want, right? Then I sketch out the ideas, or I explain the ideas. I send that off to the designer. So these are things that she does, but I wanted to tell you guys in case you're building them on your own. She always uses either complementary or contrasting colors. So if we are wanting to really more so fit into the news feed, like if this is like a story that we're telling, right? And we're wanting this to look very native, we'll use complementary colors that feel very warm and nice. If we're really wanting to stand out, she'll throw some more contrasting colors, because visually it's just like, wow, what's going on with this, right? So you don't want to be annoying. But this is something she's always done really, really well. Something else is if I do want text on the ad, I specifically tell her what I want the text to be. But something she wanted me to caution you guys about is that a lot of marketers choose fonts in their videos or in their ads that are really hard to read. So they look fancy, but they're hard to read. So choose your fonts wisely. Choose fonts that look nice, but are really easy to read. That's super important. And then she'll add the text. We add the text CTA to the image if possible. And then we always double check, is this creative congruent, right? So I do the research, I send these ideas out to her. She follows these steps, right? She's going and finding, different images that she can use and sort of mesh things together. She's drawing stuff on her own. She's making these concepts come to life. Then she also has access to the landing page that we're sending traffic to. So before she sends them back to me, she's always checking, is this creative congruent with the landing page? Is their ad sent? And by that, I don't mean they have to be identical, but if your creative and your landing page look like you're going from let's see, like a Whole Foods website to Costco, right? You know the difference. Like if it feels so drastically different, you're gonna have people fall off from ad to landing page. So she's always making sure that whatever she's come up with, it's congruent with the landing page. If not, she'll go back and make some adjustments. Then she sends the creatives to me. Usually I don't have much feedback. If I do, she makes those changes. And I'll probably use half of the creatives she makes. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But this is the process we use. Super simple. I do the research, sketch it out, outsource it to her. She goes through her process. It comes back to me, and usually we're super good to go. So your all's homework this week, and this can be next Wednesday since we're a little off here, is to complete steps 1 and 2 of this if you can. So basically, for the 2 campaigns that you wrote copy for last week, your 2 cold traffic campaigns that are speaking to 2 different avatars. So what I want you to do is come up with 2 creatives for each avatar. So you're looking for 4 total creatives for right now. And basically, I know that some of you guys might be limited on resources. So it might take a little bit to get these design assets back from the designer. So if by next Wednesday you can at least do the research and sketch out as the marketer, here's exactly what I want, and get that to them, then your creatives will be coming back, in the next few days. So we're about to go through this for Be Friendly, but you've got those 2 cold traffic campaigns for the 2 different avatars. We want to make sure that we come up with 2 creatives for each, and that we're going to spec that out for our designers and get that out there. So not just here's what the image size should be, here's what the format should be, which is up to you guys. But I really want you to go deep and tell them exactly what you want from a marketing perspective. So let's move to Be Friendly really quick, and I'll do this live for you guys. So the product that I'm going to use is the front end focus that we're going to optimize for with these front end campaigns for Be Friendly is the Raw Honey Facial Mask. It's a really interesting product. It's a good price point. I know that these cold traffic campaigns will drive sales of other products too on the store, but this is what I really, really want to focus on here. Now, as you guys know, we have our eco-conscious woman that is one of the avatars here for Be Friendly. So I want to go through 2 different variations of copy that I'm going to use. A lot of this is pulled from their website. I told you I do a lot of sourcing copy. So I just want to roll through this with you guys. And then I quickly want to sketch out, and I would love ideas from you all, some ideas for 2 different ad creatives I should use. Now, depending on how different your ad copy is for each avatar, you should be able to use both creatives for all 3 copy variations, right? So you guys wrote 3 copy variations, 2 to 3 copy variations for each avatar. So you want to make sure that these creatives you make, if possible, apply to both, because it's going to allow us to set the campaign up for better testing on our call next Wednesday. So this first one, I called it Selling Honey. So what I think is so cool about this product, of course, is that it's honey, right? This is literally a honey facial. So I'm really leading with this huge benefit, right? Because I'm speaking to this eco-conscious market that I know really cares about new natural products that can benefit their skin. But they might not know that the benefit honey can have on them. So this is my educational, really, ad copy. Did you know that honey is incredibly beneficial to our skin and health? But throw in the emojis in here. Honey is antibacterial, antimicrobial, and antifungal, and it is also the only natural antibiotic on the planet that never goes bad. If you were to find some honey from ancient Greece that is thousands of years old, you could still eat it today. I'm going to add something to make this stand out a little bit here. So obviously I won't be able to bold this, but I've now put the benefit, I've put the need out there for honey. I've told them how great it is. And now I'm transitioning to this facial mask, right? So that your face can enjoy the benefits of honey whenever you wish. Grab yours for 10% off using code XXX. Something else I could put in here, I'm going to go back and edit this, is it's the best way to consume honey. Okay. So honey makes the skin truly glow, leaving you with a radiant, youthful, and refreshed look. And now I'm going into some benefits, right? Improves your blood circulation, leaves your skin greatly improved, leaving you with a radiant glow, deeply cleanses your skin. It gets rid of all the oil, dirt, makeup. It also goes down into levels of epidermis, drawing out all the impurities. The mask helps unclog pores. This is particularly due to the organic clay, right? I'm educating the crap out of them, right, guys? This is almost like a pre-sale article, but I think it's going to work really well. Most importantly, it offers relaxation. Having a nice facial every once in a while is a wonderful way to take out some much needed me time. And then I've got my call to action: the certified organic 100% all natural face masks made with raw unprocessed honey will stimulate cell regeneration, enhance collagen production, pull impurities from deep within your pores, and leave your skin soft, smooth, radiant, youthful, and healthy. So this is what I mean by going deep on this, guys. Like, this is like an article that's explaining to them how great this is. I'm also going to create as my third variation a shorter version of this that looks a bit more like this right here. That's got really short to the point benefits, because some people just aren't readers to the level that I need you to be here. But this is the first copy variation. So this is absolutely long education. And then the second one is more testimonial based. So it's kind of based off of this other Skinny Fit one here. So join thousands of women who are using our organic raw honey facial mask to clear up their skin, stimulate cell regeneration, enhance collagen production, relax, and more. Right. And then I went on their Amazon and I picked out the absolute best testimonials I could find. I condensed them down, but I made sure that they all hit different benefits. Right. I found the answer to my skincare needs. I'm so excited. My fine lines are gone around my eyes. So this really hit people that are worried about fine lines. The mask is free from any preservatives besides honey. I'm actually going to put that one first, since that's really our target market's pain point. This is really amazing stuff. I don't usually use masks, so I picked this for people who I knew hadn't used masks before that might be on the fence there. It's, you know, my skin feels and looks better afterwards, and since it doesn't contain smoothing products, I feel like whatever I see is a natural result. And then same call to action I used above, right? And then the other variation, like I said, guys, is going to be a really simple version of this. So what do you guys think for these ad creatives? So we've got 2 to make for this eco-friendly person. What should it look like? I do think with Be Friendly, something that is of huge benefit is that it's very similar to, well, it's almost identical to the other mask ad that I showed you. It's kind of, I want to show you guys something. They have a ton of photos that I want to use. And so what I'm going to have Brittany do, so you see they've got a lot of user photos. So I'm going to take whichever ones are approved of us to use, but you look and you're like, why does someone have brown stuff on their face? So I'm going to have her create, let me know what you guys think about this, basically a slideshow video that's scrolling through different images of this mask, but that's also hitting on the different benefits of the facial mask, right? So for this would be a slideshow video, right? And I just take very random notes for her and clean them up later. So a slideshow video. So we want to flip through user photos using the product. I'll send those to you later. At all times, I want a black band at the top of the video with text. It will change. Remember, less than 20%. So basically, all I need to do now, because she understands what this means, and if she didn't, I could go in and say, you know, I want it to look like this. And then what I would need to do is I would do slide 1. We'll put this here at the bottom. Slide 2. I would go through the ad copy. I would figure out how many benefits I want to pull out from here, right? So one of them, it would probably say something like, the first slide would say, honey is our skin savior, or something that's, you know, pretty dramatic about how beneficial it is. So then the next one would be this raw honey mask, ... And then I would go back up here and I would say improves blood circulation. I would put that last. Deeply cleanses your skin, unclogs pores, offers relaxation. I'll probably do like 5 to 8 different benefits here. And probably pull some from down here too. Stimulates cell regeneration, enhances collagen. So basically what I'm gonna do is pull about 5 to 8 of these benefits from the copy here, or from, the copy at the top, and then just give these to Brittany, right? So this is your, this is her copy for the black band at the top. She'll have all the slides. And then once I have all of the pictures picked out that I want to use, I can either send them to her and say use them wherever, or I could number the photos and easily tell her which one to use with each slide. So I think that's the best first concept. This demonstrates the product, which is kind of a novelty product. So we get to do that and show different user photos. It's kind of like, whoa, what's on their face? But we're also educating them about this honey thing, right? And that honey is beneficial. And here's everything that it can do for your skin. And then, of course, the last slide is going to be all text and say, get yours 10% off using code XXX. So I think that's what we're going to go with for the first one. And this is, obviously a bit fleshed out. This is exactly what I send her, guys. And any designer will so appreciate these details. So what's another concept? I'm going to check back in with you guys. Take a drink of water. Hope you're having fun. Oh, Mike King says happy hour. Alrighty. Sarah says, do you have any recommendations for ad designers on Fiverr or Upwork? No, I don't have anyone specifically, but my designer, Brittany, actually does, on the side consulting work too. So as long as you don't steal her from me full time, I just sent her email to all of you guys. I'm sure just shoot her an email. She's usually happy to do one-off images. Just tell her you're in my course with Ezra. She's made all of the graphics for this course, so she'll know what you're talking about. Okay, so Sue says, Randall, but first thing that came to mind visually when you mentioned honey for the mom avatar is, do you know why Winnie the Pooh never got old? He loved honey. Holy crap, that is really, really good, Sue. Also dive into the natural side of the product relating to how we keep things natural for our baby skin. Yeah, that's really, really, really good. I'm going to note that for that avatar for sure. That's really smart, Sue. All righty, you guys are awesome. Meryl says, I wonder if you can eat the mask. That would show how natural it is. Ooh, that is really good. Kevin, I don't know if you're on here still or if you know this, but do you know if you can eat that Be Friendly mask? Because if that's the case, I'm going to shoot a video eating it, and that's kind of all we need to say to this market. So I think you guys, this one is going to be more of my broad ad, but this next one needs to be a little bit more specific to the eco-friendly avatar, right? So I either need to find, I couldn't find any astonishing stats, but what I was thinking about doing, and let me know what you guys think about this, Be Friendly only has, let me show you. Be Friendly only has this many ingredients. So what I was going to do is sort of do a slideshow, like a before and after, but showing the ingredient list of Be Friendly, and then switching over and showing an ingredient list, like an actual personal photo I take of something, another cosmetic that has like 30 ingredients, right? And then I could also go into benefits of the honey too. But I think that this first ad is good because it's going to allow us to generally speak to the audience. I think that this one here needs to speak a little bit more to to that audience. Totally hit different ages as well. I see you're getting different skin tones, but do something for us as well. Yeah, great idea. We'll make sure that those the user photos are across the board. Um, Michael King says, I have a creative image that came into my mind when you said selling honey. I imagine a sunny day with a stand on the countryside of the road that says organic raw honey mask for sale, handwritten on the board. Text of ad says, we're selling honey. Whoa, that is so good. That is so good. Okay, I'm going to have to write this down too. You guys are, I'm going to have to end up making like 4 ad creatives. Brittany can absolutely make this too. Like, I see the image being like an old country farm side stand, and it says, we're selling honey. I think that's great. And it speaks to people that want more organic, right? So I would make it look like I'm that's very important to me that I eat organic foods. And so anytime I see a little farm stand or something that looks like a farmer's market, I know it's my people. So that's why I like that too. Pooh Bear approved. Pooh with jar of honey. That's pretty funny too. You guys are awesome. Might be too creative, but there is something about the love of bees and warm summer days and honey that could be tapped into. Yeah, I agree. I was almost thinking about doing something where we have, I don't know if this would be weird though. Like we have the bee coming out of, obviously this would be animated, but bee coming out of a tub of honey and then like sort of going towards the person's mask, not to scare them, but just to show the relationship, you know, hey, don't forget, you know, honey comes from bees. Let's definitely keep going down that road. Meryl says, are you allowed to say those claims on Facebook stimulate collagen cell regeneration? Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. I'm going to give it a shot at least, Meryl. I don't think those are things that would be a claim like, I'm going to cure your diabetes, right? But I'm going to run these by Ezra too to make sure they're on brand with him and making sure they're not making people feel like they need to not age also. So I'm going to take a little bit of this out. Alrighty. I looked at the ingredients. Looks like you might be able to do it. Maybe show bees in the honeycomb dripping honey into a jar to show how natural it is, straight to your face. Yeah, I really, really love that too. So, all right, guys, I'm going to sit on this last one here and let me think a little bit more. I wanted to do these live so you could see exactly how I think about this. This type of thing is usually my default, right? It's always nice to make sort of a default, like we know what the hook is, we can flip through the benefits. This one's going to serve us well. This one could really perform well if we get super creative though. Like a few of your all's ideas is all of your ideas are great. And I'm just gonna think through it a little bit more. I'm also not traveling the rest of this course, which is great. So I should be able to keep my voice a little bit more. And I'll be able to shoot those targeting videos for you guys and to show you the rest of the copy I've written before we launch our campaigns next week. So I'm happy to hang around here a few more minutes. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, the goal here, guys, is for each of your avatars, create 2 different creatives. And I really like the idea of you doing one that's a bit more sound and to the point, and one that's more of like just your Hail Mary, like you don't know, it could be too weird, but you want to give it a shot. Those are the ones that when they take off, they work really, really well. So this was super fun. You should research Manuka honey and New Zealand honey. Okay, I absolutely will. I need to research honey a little bit more too, but that's why I picked this product. Do you guys see why I picked this as the front end offer versus you know, face and eye cream, night cream? Those are all hugely valuable, but this honey, this gives me something to talk about that's interesting on Facebook, right? That's why I'm making this my front end offer, and they might buy the other things, but you know, what hook am I really going to use for these other products? The honey really gives me something to play with. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any more questions. Amy said, I can't remember which campaign objective to choose for remarketing to free webinar attendees that didn't purchase. Amy, if your audience is less than 5,000, use the traffic objective. Excuse me. If your audience is more than 5,000, then use the conversion objective. Oh, I know Ez has eyes on Asia and they're mad about an ingredient in honey. They take it as a supplement. Perhaps you can relate it somehow to this product. Ooh, that's really, really good. Yeah, something else, another hook I was thinking of is, honey is, you could use something like, people take honey as a supplement, you can get your dose through this face mask, something to that effect. Like, we're selling them on the benefit of honey. Now this Facebook mask is the way they're going to get those results. Alrighty, scrolling through. So Meryl said, I sort of had a problem with one of my ads where I was targeting people that were so eco-friendly, they were leaving really odd comments about the ocean, so I deleted and blocked, like you said. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. I've seen that happen in this market too. Alrighty, guys. I hope this was fun for you all. I really like talking about this. I hope it opened your mind to how much can go into these creatives and really got your brain open and thinking about visual ways for you to portray your marketing message. Thanks, guys, for the great feedback. Have a great weekend. Stephanie, Meryl, glad you guys got some good ideas. Sarah said, really great lesson. I appreciate it. Sue says, thanks, Molly. Take it easy, honey. Pun intended. Alrighty. I appreciate y'all. And we will talk on Monday. So come with ideas on Monday for what creatives you're having produced. And I'm happy to rapid fire spit back concepts. I love coming up with ideas, especially with you guys. Okay. Have a good weekend, everybody. Talk soon.